you find Staph epidermidis or even Staph aureus in your genitourinary tract, it does not necessarily mean, in fact, 90% of the time, it is not a sexually transmitted disease. It's not a sexually transmitted bacteria. It's just there. It was probably around, strolling around in your labia, in your groin, and just found itself intruding or maybe trespassing into your vagina or into your urethra. It will be there. It will not cause any problem. It will not begin to cause a problem when it finds its way, just like I described it to you, on the skin. When something scratches your skin, it goes and becomes a wound. So it becomes a problem when for some reason you bruise yourself during any activity down there. It will now enter and start infesting the epithelial cells of that particular environment. Epithelial cells are the small cells that make up the skin. Do you understand? Skin is an organ. So the cells that make up the tissue, that make up the organ of the skin, is epithelial cells. So when it finds its way into the epithelial cells, it begins to cause discomfort, itchiness, discharge, yellowish discharge, painful urination, and the symptoms goes on and on and on. The secret of this staph is this: make sure it remains where it is supposed to remain. If it finds its way, if you wound yourself or bruise yourself during anything, if for some reason you have a bruise around there, that is the end. Staph will now join. If for some reason the staph in your high vaginal area has grown so big, because of maybe poor immune system, poor immune control, or antibiotic abuse or something like that, it gets into your urinary tract. It begins to cause urinary tract infection, because ordinarily they're supposed to just contain just in the lower genital tract. But when they now find their way into the urinary tract, there is no more barrier there. Urinary tract, there's nothing that barricades it. It can join the urinary tract, access your kidneys, begin to cause problems. That is how staph begins to cause problems. But staph is so friendly and good if you make it to remain where it is supposed to remain. That is the reason why once in a while you have a check to check if you have staph. If you find out that you have staph in your genital area, it's good to take antibiotics for it. If it has antibiotic sensitivity, you take it in the required dose. You're not taking it because you're not taking it because you have an infection. You're taking it because you want to be sure that staph is contained. That number that you have, it doesn't get worse, doesn't get into the urinary tract and start causing UTI that will likely lead to upper urinary tract damage. You don't want it to continue giving you that discharge. And staph is very stinky. When it infects the skin tissue. You know how wound smells? When a wound is unclean, is not taken care of, you know how it smells. Yes, when you have a cut in your genitourinary tract and staph is infected and you have staph infection, that is how it will smell. It will smell bad. So you don't want that smell. Just treat it because it is smelling due to a bruise or a countering of the skin barrier. So you have to take antibiotic to clear it.